Suck my balls, my hairy fucking big balls. Wrap them around your fucking mouth.
Gotta get that out of my mouth. So anyway, it's now time to do another epic rant on a movie. That is personally one of my most hated films of all time. And that movie today is none other than AVP Requiem, or as I like to call it, Shadows vs. Silhouettes, the movie. Now here's the thing. I remember in my previous video I said that I started warming up the first AVP movie and whatnot, saying stuff that, I'm sorry AVP that I treated you like crap. You're still not a good movie, but at least you had some merit put to it. But unfortunately, the same thing cannot be said for this god-awful sequel. Oh my god, where do I even begin with this travesty? So, the first AVP movie came about. It was a box office success, but reviews from audiences, critics, and fans alike were divisive at best and disappointed at worst. So it was announced that, hey, Paul W. Sanderson won't be coming back to direct, and the movie was going to be R-rated. So you'd think that maybe the movie is going to be great and everything, right? No. Instead, some executive at Fox said, oh, you thought the first movie was a disappointment? Well, you're in for a real holly jolly Christmas present. Like, wow. That's exactly what happened. And oh my god, this is a movie that is often universally regarded as being the worst film in both franchises, to the point that even the most hardcore haters of some of the other bad Alien and Predator movies will say, you know what, those movies were bad, but at least they weren't AVP Requiem. I still hate Alien 3 more than AVP Requiem because Alien 3 was just a big fuck you to people who liked the first two Alien films. Oh, wow. So, what is the plot for this movie about? Well, the plot is basically about the Predalien from the previous movie bursts out of the dead Predator's chest, hijacks a Predator ship, causing it to crash land on Earth and whatnot, unleashing a horde of xenomorphs on Earth. And of course, a lone Predator is sent on a mission to clean up the mess and whatnot. And now it is up to a ragtag group of I know what you did last summer rejects to save the day and whatnot. So, long story short, the movie practically has no plot and whatnot. Where the hell do I even start with this travesty of ours? Let us start with, should I say, the positives of this movie. And by positives, there are very few I can find. The only positive that I can give for this movie is that, hey, at least the Predator this time around doesn't look like some roided up dude and whatnot. And of course, Wolf by himself is a pretty good character and whatnot, to the point that, which makes me begin to question, why couldn't the movie have just been about him when he was clearly the highlight of the movie? And maybe some good practical effects left and right, but that's about it. Rather than being set in an interesting location in where we can see the alien and predators confront each other, it is taking place in freaking suburbia of all places. Just wow. Out of all the settings, and you chose suburbia, we go from a spaceship in the first Alien film, a colony in the second Alien film, Alien 3, for as much as I hate that movie, it did have a nice prison setting and another spaceship. And then let us look at the first two Predator movies. You had the Amazon rainforest and LA. And of course, no, the the Central American jungle. Yeah, you get the idea. Sorry about that. And heck, say what you want about the pyramid setting in the first AVP movie. At least that was an interesting and somewhat unique location and whatnot. But of course, setting an Alien and Predator movie in suburbia is laughable, even for the franchise's standards. For film that's 94 minutes long, this movie feels like it's paced like a bad two-part episode of Dawson's Creek and whatnot. And wow, at least give the first movie credit. The first movie took place in an isolated location, and where the whole tension was, we must not let the xenomorphs reach the surface of the earth, otherwise it will spell doom for humanity. But wow. And for as much as you people can say about the first AVP movie, at least there was that tension and whatnot. But here, it's just so forced. But here, the xenomorphs could have easily taken over Earth at any point in time and whatnot. But they just don't do it anyway. So, as I was saying, let us get on to the characters. And oh my god, each and every one of these characters suck. There is not a single likable character in this movie aside from the aforementioned Predator himself. These characters just feel like I know what you did last summer rejects and whatnot. You have the main character who is just basically a discounted version of Peter Parker from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. This over-the-top bully character who is essentially just a Flash Thompson knockoff. And of course, you have this mother and daughter who look suspiciously like Ripley and Newt, but aren't Ripley and Newt. Then you have this veteran police officer who's supposed to be an XP of Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, but didn't understand what made the character of Harrigan work and whatnot. And when the movie tries to homage previous elements from previous Alien and Predator movies, it just comes across as forced and in your face, to the point that this film is just so unoriginal. The character's name is Dallas. You had this mother and daughter, as mentioned earlier, who look like Ripley and Newt, but aren't Ripley and Newt and just feel like bootleg versions of them. And you even have this veteran police officer who is just a poor man's Mike Harrigan and whatnot. And also, it's like, when they put in all these references, it's like they're just forced and in your face and whatnot. And they even butchered the iconic get to the chopper line and whatnot, which was just disgraceful and all that stuff. So disgraceful and all that stuff. And to people and let us get the obvious elephant in the room, the lighting. Oh my god, the lighting in this movie is just horrendous. This is one of the most horrendously lit films I have ever seen in my life. I mean, with a $40 million budget, you couldn't afford to get proper lighting? Are you kidding me? And to think that one of the criticisms that one of the crew members had was, the first movie was too brightly lit. What? Seriously, that was why you made the film so damn dark and whatnot? Oh my freaking god. What the hell were these retards thinking? Fucking retards. And of course, don't even get me started on the vibe. That's why I even called the movie Shadows versus Silhouettes at one point, because it's so damn dark I can barely see what the hell was going on and whatnot. You'd think that the Strauss brothers, who had a work in VFX, would know how to light a damn film, but of course, these two can't even light a film to save their own godforsaken lives. And the R rating does not automatically redeem this movie. It seriously doesn't. The violence in this movie is just so over the top and cartoonish and whatnot. I mean, blood and gore for the sake of blood and gore is just not the way things go for a movie and all that stuff. And some of the violence borderlines to just being mean-spirited and whatnot. I mean, You even have this infamous scene in where a Pred alien goes into, should I say, a hospital, and it's implied that those babies were killed. Okay, maybe you didn't show the babies getting killed because, oh, maybe you just left it up to the imagination or whatnot, but oh my god, we get to the most infamous part of the movie, where the Pred alien lays embryos in a pregnant woman's, oh god, a pregnant woman's womb and whatnot. That's so disgusting that I want to just vomit. I mean, see this clip, see the censored clip for yourself. And on top of that, this scene was clearly feels like it was a scene filmed by a psychopath who had just recently escaped from a mental asylum and whatnot. I mean, you even have such laughable lines of dialogue that go like, "That's crazy, the government doesn't lie to people, and people are dying, we need guns." And don't even get me started on the idiotic mistakes the characters make in this movie. I mean, they clearly get inside an armored vehicle and whatnot, but instead of just simply driving out of town and maybe getting to safety, they decide to go for the center of town while this chaos is going on and whatnot. Wow, these characters are so unbelievably stupid that I wanted each and every single one of them to die. Oh god. Wow. How on earth did 20th Century Fox look at this film and give it a green light? I will just never understand what on earth was going in these executives' minds. So wow. So anyway, AVP Requiem is without a doubt one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life and whatnot. Up there with the likes of, Alien 3 and all that stuff. I am not gonna defend this movie and whatnot, because the first AVP movie, for as disappointing as it was, at least had merit put to it and everything. Predators at least tried to be a good movie despite being a lackluster rehash of a pretty meaty, less than stellar rehash of the first movie and whatnot. I don't really hate Predators, but I declare it to be kind of an average film and all that. So if you're wondering how I'm gonna rate AVP Requiem, I'm gonna give AVP Requiem a 2 out of 10. So what do you guys think of AVP Requiem? Let me know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching as always. Don't forget to subscribe. Shadow Leon 659 signing out.